Hey people, Indra here, 2v2, Ancestors Rest, blue team, it's some Orks. Battered Nutria is a Warboss, a melee hero working through objects with strong disruption and support from the front lines. Alongside Chunky Coats as a Mekboy teleporting hero fighting in ranged combat, puts out some good damage with a bunch of Orky gadgets. Red team, Palus Astra with a Warlock, a melee spellcaster that leaps into combat, some powerful disruption and support. And rounding off the team, this is Gomer Pyle with a Hive Tyrant, a durable hero working through objects and cannot be suppressed, bringing powerful offense, support and disruption. Begins in melee with a basic synapse, breaking stuff already. Ancestors Rest then. We have this kind of raised area to the north of the VP. It's a bit more open in the south, so I assume that action's going to kind of skew this way naturally as the players have a bit more room to maneuver. Chunky Coats needs to be careful they don't get 2v1'd here. Teleporting in is the Mekboy to tie up the Termagants, but these guys need to back off a bit, I think, and wait for Battered Nutria. There's the Destructor from the Warlock, and the double shooters retreat. The Sluggers retreat, and now the red team need to try and pivot quickly to take out Battered Nutria before they get flanked. I think they're going to turn now. Yep, just saw the Hive Tyrant. I think I'm going to call you Ernesto. Can't forget that. It's Ernesto the Hive Tyrant. We got Sluggers with burners already for Battered Nutria. This is a bad approach for the Banshees. They need to wash out and run, I think. Oh, they don't have their aspect yet. They might wipe here. That's a really awkward retreating location. Yeah, down they go. They were a bit too separated from their Guardians, and the Warlock should always try to go in first to get that leap and knock stuff over. We've got more Guardians on the other side. Warlock's doing well in there though. Sluggers are persuaded to leave. Destructor flies out, and then a retreat. Do they replace the Banshees? Not yet. Shuriken on the way. Warboss picked up a Guardian and flung him back down to the south. Orks hitting back. That's Ernesto the Hive Tyrant retreating. And they should be able to cap back this stuff. Can they get onto the power though? Maybe it's worth decapping the wreck point instead. Trying to grab that contested power right in the mid. Very unlikely to see any gens on that. They do have natural powers in the north as well. Northeast here for red and northwest for blue. Some fleeting Guardians got their battle equipment to grenade Sluggers as they approach. Maybe not sure why that Shuriken is staying so far back. Maybe just waiting for stuff. Warrior Brood trying to finish off the Sluggers. This is a really tough fight to take though, with double shooters right there. The shooters don't have upgrades though. They do take out the warrior model. These guys have their own basic synapse and power melee weapons and some jumping action you just saw disrupt those Sluggers. Got to shoot Mr. Mekboy, there we go. Going for the electric armor instead of upgrading the shooters right now. You see how it pays off? The big shooters are so good for helping to control infantry. Well, electric armor can do that. Gonna wipe out those Hormagaunts, I think, with some Daka. Yes, it does. Nicely done. Meanwhile, in the mid, the Guardian weapon team with the Shuriken has moved up, which puts a stop to all this approach. Setting up the Destructor there with the suppression nicely. There's more electric armor. What did they actually call it? Electric shock. How creative. Some orky left hooks in there, though. It does slow him down as he uses it, as you may have seen. 10 power melee per second. Not sure how much it slows him down. It's quite significant though. Back towards the mid. Storm Boys on the field. Bad news for the Guardian weapon team. These guys can jump on you, and they've got power melee weapons. Not the best chasers though. A little bit clumsy in their movement. They do that jump there, and it has like a long cooldown animation afterwards, where they get back up off their little jump. Warlock overmatched. They can decap the VP here. Maybe get after the gens. Although, going to be dicey getting over there doing some damage. Why are these guys retreating? Retreated the Storm Boys. And they're quite healthy. You have a boss pole up for the Warboss to help out his boys. Lots of Daka for Ernesto to deal with. Gomer Pyle not replacing the Hormagaunts, it doesn't seem like. The Warrior Brood barely getting away there on that fight. No bleeder for the shooter boys. They also have their big shooters. So the Warriors might have a really bad time now. They're going to get suppressed by that. Open themselves up for the electric shock, which will do extra to them because they're heavy infantry. This is power melee damage. Lots of Daka for the gens now. The other squad is also getting a knob leader. They already have their big shooters. There's a lot of Daka. Mid is blue, although Batted to Nutria is... Oh, they did decap that. Did not go after the power, I don't think. Maybe they thought they'd just be forced off. Howling Banshees have been replaced eventually by Palus Astra getting the aspect of fleetness. Nothing for the Warlock to support them yet. He can get his channeling runes in tier 1. Destructor's decent. Grenades are at the ready for the slugger push. And they might be able to get the Storm Boys with it after they jump. More electric shocking. Warrior Brood goes down. And another model. Can they get away actually? Because the sluggers are on with those burners. Burners give them a couple of power melee weapons. Good versus the heavy infantry of the Warriors. Ernesto, the Hive Tyrant, gets a special attack. That was kind of lucky there. He still might go down if he's not careful. Yep, down they go. Got to be careful with a level 1 Hive Tyrant with no war gear against an early melee squad. They can surround him, they can get so many attacks off. Uh-oh, Batted Nutria just had a really bad fight. Okay. Storm Boy's lost, and Slugger's lost. Ouch. I see a Storm Boy dead there. Oh boy, I wish I saw that now. I wonder if they got some grenades off. Pushing up and decapping some wreck points. No attempt on the power. Meanwhile though, power being fully decapped by Chunky Coats. And so much Daka there, but you got the big shooter for the Mekboy. Double cap here for red team. Gene Stealer's on the way. Palus just hitting tier 2 now. Batted has gone, Chunky Coats has not gone. They spent a lot upgrading their boys and getting some more gear for the Mekboy. It's paid off though. Able to push all the way through, bash and decap. And now they're coming towards the mid. Guardians just hanging out there. Shuriken's there to cover though. And what are they going to do about the Shuriken now? The Storm Boys are off the field. Warboss could maybe go around the north. These guys are way too close to the Shuriken. Chunky Coat's not paying attention here. Good thing they spotted it. They would have eaten a grenade or some Banshee melee or something. Gene Stealer Brood is in. Melee superiority unit. Really bad news for the sluggers and stuff. And they're going to have melee synapse support from the Adrenal Gland Warriors as well. Making them even more scary. And good at melee. Spending a lot of time fighting over that contested power. Did they just retake that VP there? 422 to 376. Could not. Oh, they got one gen. And got out clean actually. So that's alright. I wonder if throwing the sluggers in on the Warriors and then teleporting in with electric shock would be enough to win that fight. The Warriors are already quite low. Focus these guys down, you get the synapse bombs. Might be able to make it work, especially with the Daka if the Daka's in range. All depends on what Gomer Pyle does with the Hive Tyrant, I guess. Could get the Seismic Roar to really mess up the sluggers. You can't interrupt the electric shock though. If you knock over the Mekboy, I assume it's still going to be electric shocking stuff. Wraithlord is up though for Palus Astra. Batted Nutria, the war truck, and more Storm Boys. Awesome. Meanwhile, towards the south, big old fight. Electric armor doing some work. Warriors are going to wipe. Yes, they do. A really bad fight for Gomer Pyle. Gene Stealers were in the back line there, and they do get away. Banshee's now coming in with some war shouting and special attacks, but the sluggers do not concede a fight easily. Hive Tyrant comes charging through. Sluggers did really well then. Do you have any other war gear going on Pyle? No, extended carapace you just saw there, lots of Daka. And Wraithlord time, going for a Bright Lance shoulder-mounted anti-vehicle weapon. Will help them take care of the war truck, which does have the reinforced plating. Wraithlord is now turned around. Storm Boys with the Knob Leader on the right there. Big old fellas, almost as big as that Warboss. Got a heavy melee weapon and stuns on landing. Wraithlord getting some decent hits in though. They don't want to fight this Wraithlord. 352 to 376. VPs are very even. We saw battered Nutria having to recover. Now we're going to see if Gomer Pyle can recover. They're getting some more warriors. They need to initiate the fights with the Hive Tyrant, I think. Charge in, then bring the Gene Stealers in, then bring the Warrior Brood in. Can't have the Warriors taking the brunt of it. Decent Destructor there. Kind of sets the ground on fire a bit. Level 3 Warlock, no war gear. Level 1 Hive Tyrant, and they're on the power again here. Weird Boys on the field also for Chunky Coats. Really bad news for Tier 2 Tyranids. Can shut down their armies really well with that Warp Vomit if you can time it. Sitting pretty in the mid are the Orks. We have a beamy death gun for Mekboy. Trying to deal with the Wraithlord, I guess. Tried to teleport after it there, but just missed out on the position. Shuriken backs up and sets up. Don't think there's anyone inside it right now. Sluggers are repairing. Where are the Storm Boys then? Oh, Storm Boys are right there. What is Chunky Coats up to? Trying to flank the Eldar, but they might get flanked themselves by a very angry melee Tyranid force. Warp Vomit does not hit. Looks like they've got out in time. Could have been really nasty. We have Warp Field up for Gomer Pyle. Good old Warp Field, which just makes him tougher and more annoying to deal with. Warboss with a Power Claw. And of course that Boss Pole, which will affect the allied Orks or allied players in general. Don't have to be Orks. No war gear or upgrades for the Weird Boy yet. Mid is still blue. I feel like it's been blue for a while. Stabilizing on the 2-to-1 are the Orks. I don't think Batted should push here. They know both the red players are in the field and they're pushing. Wraithlord intercepts and counter-initiates the jump. Banshees with the war shout. Big special attack from the Wraithlord, just wiped out those Storm Boys. Really bad decision to push, or at least a bad decision to jump in. With the Wraithlord right there. Not sure what the plan was actually. It's not like they had tank busters or something and they were sending in Storm Boys to try and keep the Wraithlord in place. And now Sluggers have gone in against the Wraithlord. I mean, they're not trying to fight it, but they're standing next to it and fighting it. It's not a good idea. Did not need to lose that stuff, Batted. But I'm sure they did some damage. Losing the upgraded Storm Boys though is rough. Tier 3 for Palus. Chunky Coat's already there. Battered Nutria also goes Tier 3. Gomer Pyle might be saving for Tier 3 and Carnifexes and stuff. Wraithlord has done so well. Hasn't really met much opposition, to be honest. Now the beamy death gun's getting shots in though. And it's a long way from home. Big chunks of damage per shot from that thing. Ernesto, the Hive Tyrant, is trying to tie things up. Warlock's going after the mech. There we go. Powerful Warboss getting hits. The Wraithlord does have melee resistance, and that special attack doesn't help. He's put use your choppers on himself, the Warboss. Maybe the Warlock can get the leap and knock him over. Got some swings under the Wraithlord. Might be able to get it here. I think he can get it. He was doing so well, but it was just too far up. Stayed too far up for too long. Knob squad on the way for Chunky Coats. And that was just the Wraithlord exploding there. I thought that was a very, very fancy grenade we saw. Banshee's got to level 2, the second Banshee squad. War Truck will allow these Orks to reinforce around it. Has some DACA of its own. Not a lot though. 281 to 321. Tier 3 there for Gomer Pyle. Can they deal with the Knob squad? Seer Council maybe. Fire Prison maybe. They do have some decent options, Eldar. Can disrupt a hell of a lot. They could use the... Oh, they've already got Witchblade of Kernus, Palus Astra. And there's the Seer Council on the way. And I think... I'm not sure. I think the Seer Council range damage reduction does affect allied heroes, right? It's not just infantry. I think so. Looted tank on the way for battered Nutria. And that could be a really good shout. Could be a really good shout. They haven't done much against the war truck, have they? Nob squad are up. Elite melee infantry could go toe-to-toe with anything in the game if they have the upgrades and stuff. They already have Mina and Greener for the frenzy. You have a web way to get to the power quickly. This is the only power that I've seen bashed, really. This southeast one. Oh, Ernesto, the Hive Tyrant is down. 205 to 321. Got the tank coming in. This is battered Nutria. Is that it there? That's the war truck. Nob squad scaring off the Gene Stealers. They can fight the Nob squad reasonably well if they have the melee resistance, but they were quite low there from all the Dakar, I think. Banshees couldn't wipe the sluggers. Maybe level 4 sluggers, and they do not get away. 204 to 318. See a council now. It's a squad of Warlocks. If you think one Warlock's bad enough, what about 5 of them jumping on you with power melee? Just wiping through those Orks there. Fighting a Warboss now. They'll do a lot of damage to him, but he will do a lot of damage with that power claw per swing. Being outnumbered now, the Seer Council. Sluggers in there with their Nob Leader and stuff. And a tank, of course. They do get away. They can take some punishment, the Seer Council. Take a beating. Even from Orks. Lots of electricity. Might go down though, the Mekboy. So much damage so quickly from the Gene Stealers, but I think he's far enough away. Warlock with Providence on the way. I thought maybe they'd get the Champion's Row. They can push into the back lines a bit better. Or maybe a Cloak of Shadows actually to support the Seer Council as they come in with some sneaky infiltration. Maybe they think the double shooters makes it a poor choice. Rocks set up by the tank shot. Not bad. Not bad. Gene Stealers are dead. Warrior Brood somehow didn't drop a model. Lots of dead stuff. Good boom shot, says Chunky Coats. Gomer Pyle with a very abrupt report on the situation. Does have a Carnifex though. It's alright. Now, do you get a Stranglethorn or do you get Thorn back? Well, you get a Venom Cannon apparently. Wants to shoot the tanks and stuff. But I'm thinking about the Nob squad. Do you get a Stranglethorn to suppress them? Or do you get a Thorn back just to fight them? Looks like we're going to see neither. Wants to go after that tank. They have no real way to stop the Nobs. They could disrupt them with the Warrior Brood jump maybe, but then what? Palus Astra though has some good stuff. Let's see if they can do a nice ethereal slash here. Big fight. Tyrant formation going in. Lots of special attacks. There's the ethereal slash as a decent hit. Tyrant formation doing work as well. Really good Tyrant formation. Nob squad getting quite low actually. Down goes the tank, they got it. Carnifex did its job. Nob squad in retreat. Providence up for the Warlock. Kills the Slugger Nob as well. Wow. Battered Nutria got destroyed. Chunky goes down to 3 units. The tides have turned again. Triple cap though for the Orks. I need to get on those VPs. What is this? Warrior Brood getting on that one. Mekboy doing some decapping. That was a hell of a fight. Wraith Guard on the way now for Palus Astra. Ernesto, what level are you, buddy? Level 3. With the Warp Field, Extended Carapace, and now Crushing Claws. Just wanted to one-up the Warboss's heavy melee. Level 7 Warlock. He's done some work, this guy. Mekboy able to actually finish the cap on that wreck point. Bright Lance. I'm not sure if the Bright... I didn't notice if the Bright Lance was in on that fight, getting shots on the tank and stuff. Probably. Another Carnifex for Gomer Pyle. Palus Astra looking strong though. Wraith Guard now coming out to base. Might be able to get some shots on the Nob Squad if they can ground target effectively. Banshees need to wash out or something. Nope, they're backing away. Here come the Seer Council. Warrior Brood jumping in. Might want to back off though after they jump. Frenzy popped by the Nob Squad, gives them suppression immunity and 75% damage resist. Now they're being suppressed though. Frenzy's wore off. Banshee doing some good work. Nob Squad now have their jammers and theirs use your choppers, but they are forced to retreat, make them waste that global. It's a global ability of the Warboss, giving melee damage and melee skill. Seer Council got into the back lines during that. What are they going for now though? Oh, they're still chasing the Nobs. They need to turn around, fellas. There we go. Shooter boys won't be able to stand up for very long against the Seer Council. Level to 2 already. Doing really well so far. In the mid, Warlock has to flee. I'm not sure why they got Heart of Darkness, because Providence makes your abilities free, right? Oh, it just gives you tons of energy regen. So I'm not sure why they got Heart of Darkness. Maybe so they can spam Destructor and Witchblade of Kernus, Ethereal Slash Maul when Providence isn't active, maybe? We shall see. Mekboy has a super tough beam for that Nob Squad, I guess. Oh, they got 2 Nobs now. One's level 2. Battered Nutria also has one. Getting all the upgrades. Warp Field is up. Should put the Warp Field down so he can get his energy back. Very nice to the Hive Tyrant there. With some little bits of inefficiency. Drop the Warp Field, buddy. We got a Stranglethorn Cannon now. If they can get some good shots on the Nobs, it can make a big difference because it forces them to use the Frenzy earlier. And it only lasts 8 seconds or something. And it's got a 75 red cost, so being forced to use it early is kind of annoying for an Orc player. Flash Gits with blasters up. Can maybe get some decent shots on the Banshees and stuff when they're all blobbed up. Guardians. I'm not seeing any grenades really. I'm sure they've happened, I just haven't noticed them. Which often happens. Orc team on the back foot, I feel like, but it's a 1-to-1 cap and the VPs are pretty much evened up. Down go some shooter boys. Nob Squad against Banshees though is not a good fight for the Banshees. You losing their Exarch. Here's Ethereal Slash. Frenzy is popped, but it doesn't stop him being knocked over. Here come the Seer Council. Frenzy won't last much longer. There it is. Use your choppers is up though. Oh, they're going after the Carnifexes. They're going to take a lot of damage as they chase. Meanwhile though, Flash Kit's doing some work back there. Nob Squad still chasing. There's Odd Boys. Looks like the Seer Council giving up. Oh, they're going after Flash Kits. Flash Kits are heavy infantry, so they'll take a lot of damage from the power melee. Good special there from the Warlock. Big chase for the Carnifex. I'm not sure that was worth it. Should have just engaged the Seer Council, I think. The Warboss right there. Got rid of him. Here comes another Nob Squad and another. Poor Seer Council. I mean, they can maybe take on one, but 3 of them can maybe do okay against one. I don't think they're going to win 1v1. Some good Stranglethorn cannon shots though. Look at that. Boom. Massive chunks of health off those Nob Squad. And Warlock is still in play. Seer Council are off the field. Level 8 this fella. Good Bioplasma shot from the Venom Cannon Carnifex. There's the Providence. 115 to 146. Trying to finish off the mech. Maybe. I don't think they're going to get it. They're moving at the same speed here. Termagant's capping the mid. And the double Carnifex has done really well so far. There is a tank up. Wow, got a really good shot on those Banshees. They will get away though, I think. Pushing up here is Gomer Pyle, hopefully. Well, hopefully for them, they're not overextending here, going for a power bash. They know there's at least 3 Nob Squads on the field. Could easily get up here and get in behind the Carnifexes, do tons of damage. Seems like battered Nutria running out of ideas maybe. We have another Carnifex on the way for Gomer Pyle, and now a Fire Prism for Palus Astra, who has tons of red, by the way. They could drop a nuke, an Eldritch Storm at any point. Don't forget, of course, the Beamy Death Gun as well, a big threat to those Carnifexes. All dropped in, although dropped in kind of during peacetime here. Usually she's dropped in on something's face for the grenades. Orks ignoring their wreck point. They need VPs. Warboss goes for the decap. No armor upgrade though, is going to take damage so quickly. Gets the stomp. Just wants the decap before they die, and they got it. They did get the decap before they died. Big fight in the mid here. This could be make or break for the red team. Can the knobs carry them? The other Carnifex is a Thornback. That was the charge there. They got kind of stuck on stuff. Use your choppers is in, and the Beamy Death Gun's getting shots with the more darker global for a faster fire rate, I think. It lowers the cooldown of the weapons, I believe. There's some good DPS. Eldritch Storm. That just to stop the Weird Boy capping, or are they aiming for the tank? You see an Ork back there with a fusion gun. Takes out the looted tank. Battered Nutria down to just flash kits. I think the red team have it. I think they did enough in that fight. That was flash kits trying to cap there. Was that the last hurrah of the blue team? GG says Battered Nutria. I think it was. Did they get a Carnifex? They didn't. Oh, they did. They did get a Carnifex. Which one did they get? They got the Stranglethorn down. Current Guard coming in. Maybe called in by Gomer Pyle. I don't know how they could afford that when you ruin their power. Yeah, but it was only one power bashed a couple of times maybe, and it has less of an effect in 2v2s and 3v3s, but there's two players to repurchase things. Really need to like camp on a power to make a massive difference. Obviously it's really good to do. Even if one player spends 200 and one player spends 100 rep to rebuild the gens, it's still really good. But it's not going to stop them getting their tier 3 stuff out. I think they bashed it twice, that power, maybe? Maybe 3 times. Triple cap now for red. We had some big losses, blue team. And they didn't recover quite as well as red did. As soon as Gomer Pyle got the Carnifexes out, they were basically solid. And Palus Astra was solid all the way through. There was some very dodgy fights that Battered Nutria took up here. We saw when he jumped the Storm Boys in near the Wraithlord and then ran the Sluggers in near the Wraithlord, where they really didn't have to. They should have just waited for Chunky Coats to show up. I mean, they had the VP and stuff at that time. They really didn't need to push. Maybe they were just looking for power. Level 7 Warboss we had with the Power Claw and Boss Pole. We had a level 8 Mech, almost level 9. Did some amazing stuff with electric armor in tier 1, early tier 2. Level 8 Warlock was super strong throughout. And a level 6 Hive Tyrant with the crushing claws at the end. There you have it, guys. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.